The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whether you're new to sales or a lifetime veteran, the Blackbelt Sales Podcast will sharpen your sword and guide you to master the art of sales. And now, here's your host, the ninja himself, Gene Slade.
What's up, my ninjas and my future ninjas? I'm super excited to talk to you today about the challenges that you are about to face, a lot of you. And what are we talking about, Don? We're talking about the shoulder season. So I want to introduce my guest. If you don't know Don, he's over here on this side. Don is the former owner of a company called Freedom Heating and Cooling out in Birmingham, Alabama. And he is one of our executive coaches over here at Lead Ninja, had a massive company, a massive exit. And so now he is giving back to business owners and to technicians. And one of the things that made Don so successful, we got some wind going there, buddy.
Yeah, that was big. That was a big thunderstorm, my man. Sorry about that. That was a lightning strike.
Show everybody where you're at right now so that they can get a picture of why you're dealing with the wind. He's up high.
Yeah, out at the lake. It's where I live full time now. It's at the lake, so it's really nice. And just happened to be an afternoon storm come up, but it's a nice place to get to have to be at. You know, if you have to be somewhere, might as well be at a vacation house full time. So I'm loving it. Absolutely.
Man, that sounds wonderful. Right now, I don't even have a pool. They're putting in this pool. It's been like 60 days, and we can't wait for them to get finished with it. We're going to be lounging at the end of October. But guys, let's talk about what's about to happen specifically for the HVAC contractors out there. It seems like, Don, every year in October, November, December, sometimes even into January, we talk to contractors who are saying, hey, the phone is not ringing, or there's no sense of urgency. The weather's mild. We deal with these spells, right, where there's not that true demand, especially for heating and air conditioning.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And as a business owner, you got one set of problems. How do I fill the schedule when the phone doesn't ring and when Google doesn't love me anymore? What do I do then? And then I have the other side of the technician side of the problem that says, what do I do when the customer just says, it ain't broke, it ain't broke, don't fix it type deal. It's not a problem. I can wait. So
yeah,
this is what's either happening to you right now or it's about to happen. And I'd rather hope that we're ahead of the curve telling you about it's time to prepare. It's time to go back to basics. And Gene, that's what was going through my mind when we said, let's get together today.
So guys, you've been in the situation, if you're a salesperson or you're a boss that used to be a salesperson, you remember those times where it's not hot and it's not cold and the system's not really working that hard, and you'll find something and the client will be like, well, I think I'm just going to put it off. Like Don said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'll put it off till spring, or I'll put it off till fall. What are they really saying there, Don? Because you guys, we got to learn to read between the lines. What's the client actually saying to you there?
Most of the time, the client is saying those items not because they don't want work done and they don't want their system to be perfect. It's just the money, typically. So that's a very good conversation to have. I totally understand, not a problem. And if it were free, would you want to go ahead and get this work done or just wait? If it were free, if it only cost $1, if it only cost $10 to get all this taken care of, would we still be sitting here talking about waiting? All of that stuff is what helps to understand their situation. Most people put off doing repairs not because they don't really want the items, need the items, feel comfortable with the items, especially if you explained it with the questions questions and engaged them, but they often just don't want to deal with the money portion of it. That's what we all would do, right?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't
So
have to spend the money, are you going to spend it?
exactly,
I mean,
exactly. If I don't have to,
people will put it off as long as they possibly can. So, guys, it's either going to be one of two
exactly,
things in that situation. Either it's a price issue, or what, Don?
that they
They don't
truly
believe it
need
needs to
it,
be done.
right?
Yeah, which goes back to
Exactly.
one of the things we teach so much inside of the mastermind and at the live events. We teach people how to get the customer to come to their own conclusion that something needs to be done, and it needs to be done now. There's a real art
Yeah.
form to that. And like Don, you were saying, we utilize questions to get the client to come to their own conclusion that something needs to be done.
It's huge. We teach this a lot. I went to 15 or so of your classes. I paid for you to come in and went to classes, and the light bulb didn't go off till much, should have gone off on the first day in the first class, but it took a while for it to come off. But when the client comes to their own conclusion, they don't get a second opinion about what they believe. They get a second opinion of what you believe or you tell them. But the
That's so good.
history of the world, or the history of people, when we truly believe something, we don't need a second opinion. All right. We never get a second opinion about what we believe. We get a second opinion of what others believe. So when they come to their own conclusion, then there is no need for, get a second opinion, or let me think about it, or any of that kind of stuff that happens, that comes along and tends to kill the sale or the whole process for you. Get them to understand, get them to come to their own conclusion. And you do that by engaging and asking better questions. I love the Tony Robbins line. It says, ask better questions, get better answers. But with sales, we have to lead them to the place where they come to their own conclusion. So I love how that changes your whole sales philosophy, is when people start asking to buy stuff from you versus you trying to sell stuff to them.
Oh my God, it's a different world, man. Okay, so Don, in a second, but not right now, I'd like for you to answer for the salespeople out there how to go ahead and deal with it when somebody gives you a stall or a put off, just as a result of it being the money. All right. And before he does that, guys, if you're joining us live, will you please do us a favor and put live in the comments? And if you're joining us on a replay, just put replay in the comments. Okay, that's the fee to show up here and to get these nuggets, this information. Okay, so make sure that you pay the fee. Make sure that you pay the fee. All right, just put live or replay, and if you would, type in where you're tuning in from. What city and state are you tuning in from? I would really appreciate that, guys. All right, so Don, you've got a salesperson or a technician out in the field. They brought up some things that the client should be concerned about, some things that they're going to want to know about, or things that are going to cause them challenges in the future, right? And the client's not feeling any real pain, right? But we try to establish a need for it. And assuming that we're able to establish a need for it, and the client really does believe something needs to be done, that's what I'm prefacing this with, right? We're going to say the client actually is convinced that something needs to be done. But they give you the stall, they give you the put off. I'm just going to put it off. I'm going to wait for 6 months. How do we handle that? How do we attack it? Let's give them some nuggets right now.
Well, once you form the list and you're working straight off the list, is there anything on this list you feel is overkill or unnecessary? Is there anything else on this list as they start marking them off? So you do feel that the rest of this needs to be done? You're not just saying that to be nice to me, are you? Level with me. How do you feel about the money? The easiest way to get them talking about the money is to ask them. And there's lots of guys out there that are just really, really, really scared to have a money conversation. And that is,
I'm telling you,
the next level. And you can do it very nicely. Just say, level with me. How do you feel about the money? I didn't really want to say, what do you think about the money? Because again, that kind of triggers them to say, I don't know, let me think about it. How do you feel about the money? You want them, it doesn't matter what they answer, you're going to walk down that path where you want them to have that money conversation. So that's probably the first place that you go to on a service call or upgrade call,
So
breathe easy
let,
kind of
let's
add-on.
pause. Let's pause for just 1 second because I want to point out something that Don just did. He didn't say, what do you think about the money? He said, how do you feel about the money? Feel is logical or emotional. It's emotional, right? And
Very
so
emotional.
clients buy emotionally, so we want to use language like, how do you feel about this, or how do you feel about that? And a lot of times when they give you an opinion, you want to ask them why. All right, so you got to a place, Don, where you said, how do you feel about the money? And most of them are going to say something like, well, it's a lot of money.
Oh, that totally makes sense then on why, I get that. Just, I'm just like you. Can you tell me more about that? You're just trying to get them to open up and tell you something. Do you have that much money? Once they get to talking,
Ooh,
we've often heard in sales that the customer will tell you how to close them if you'll just listen. Most of the time and we talk about this a good bit. In a lot of the training, we listen just to figure out how to respond. When in reality, we need to listen to hear exactly what they're telling us.
oh my
They will
gosh.
tell you exactly what it takes. We just have to listen to them to build a plan that fits them. Think as if you're that person. We ran across a question a couple of training classes ago, and it was talking about the rental property or a tenant and a landlord situation. Well, if you're dealing with the landlord, think like you're a landlord. This was your property. What would you be concerned about? What would you be interested in? And you're sitting there frustrated that they won't buy all the stuff. Well, pretend that you were that person, that you were in that property, and what would be the most important things to you if you were the landlord and you had a tenant? You want your tenants not to complain to you. You want them to never call you and say, and you don't really want to have to deal with the air conditioner or heating system being broken down and pissed off clients calling them in the middle of, their tenants calling them in the middle of the night or weekends and things of that nature. Think like you own that property, and you will sell from a whole different standpoint, a whole different viewpoint for it. And I know we got off track with that, but think like you're the customer, and it goes with this financial as well. Can you tell me more about that?
So
Well, I got a quote for
I love
$5,000 less. That's different.
Right. So I love getting in the mindset of the customer. I think that's a massive nugget. Something that people should write down is try to get into the mindset of what you would want if you were them having the knowledge that you have right now, right? Because that's a service first type of mentality. It's not a me first mentality. And guys, I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking about your money while you're out there in the customer's house, if you're thinking about your commission and what you get out of the deal, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. All right. It needs to be about that human being across the table from you that you're trying to serve. All right. Then you said something else that I get a lot of crap for around the country. All right. He asked a question, and I don't know if many of you caught it, but the question was, do you have that much money? Now, I want to poll the audience right now. Would you feel nervous if I told you that you had to ask your clients that question on every call tomorrow? Put yes or no down in the comments. Would you be nervous to look a client in the face and say, do you have that much money? Let's see it in the chat. Right? Because when I do our live seminars, I would bet you that 30 to 40% of the room at least raises their hand. Can you deal with that for a second? Like, help us with that?
Well, you have to, again, when you're thinking from their viewpoint, it's not as intimidating because you're just there trying to help them, right? I totally understand if you don't have that much money. I mean, it really makes sense why you kind of said you want to put this off now. So I totally understand. Get on their side of the table in the conversation is the way it feels, kind of get on from their viewpoint. And do you have that much money? It's not that intimidating. Okay. Look, if you don't,
I think it depends on where you're coming from. I think it depends on where you're coming from, right? Like,
Yes.
and how you deliver it. It's not what
Yeah.
you said, it's how you said it, right? So if you go, well, do you have that much money? That's different than, do you have that much money? Right? Like
Right.
and
Yeah.
the feeling behind
But
it has got to be the right feeling.
yeah, it's not pushy, and it's I'm here to help you solve the problem and get you through this difficult time more than I'm here to try to sell you something. I'm not here to take your money. I'm here to give you all this value, which is system that lasts longer, a home that's comfortable, a power bill that's lower, less frustration. All of those things are what we deliver. We give all
A
those things in
cleaner,
the
fresher,
HVAC
healthier
world to,
environment.
yeah, we give all those things to people, and they give us a little bit of their money to get this huge pile or this huge stack of benefits that we give. And that's the way you have to look at it. They give you a very small amount of the money that they have, earn, or will make in their lifetime for you to give them years and years of all of those things: lower power bills, um, system that their home that's more comfortable, you know, the nights sleep, the hours of extra sleep that they'll get over the next month or year when you clean their system and you get all the bacterial growth just off the blower wheel and off the coil. If you just clean those items, we're now so much more comfortable. They're going to sleep better. They're going to wake up with more energy. They're going
Dehumidify
to love
better.
life so much more, and they're going to have fun. You yeah, all of those things are what we give this huge stack of benefits, and we ask for this little tiny amount of the money that they make, or we're asking for people to give us, in a lot of cases, $100 to $200 a month. They will spend $200 a month on
Yeah.
mattresses trying to find a way to sleep better when we can give that to them through indoor air quality, cleaning their system, better
They'll spend
airflow,
200
comfortable
bucks at the
house,
bar.
dehumidifier. Yeah, yeah. You'll spend that. We're asking for such a small amount, but we're intimidated and scared to ask for that, to give this big stack, because we think, oh no, it's $200 a month is what, $10,000 in our mind. No, it's $200 a month. They, that's very budgetable. That's very much
So,
something.
Don,
They spend
let's
more
go
than that on
back.
their cell phones. Come on.
Let's go back though. So here's what Don did. That when they said, "Hey, I want to put it off, or we can look at doing this in the spring." Don said, "Okay, that's not a problem. Before I take off, is there anything on this list that you feel like doesn't need to be done, or that's not important?" Right? The client points out a couple of things. Don crosses them off. Doesn't try to sell anybody anything. He's just trying to figure out what the client wants to buy. Asks them again, is there anything else you feel is not needed? Anything that's overkill? And once they get to a point where they say no, he's then confirming, so you do feel that the rest of this needs to be done? They say yes. And he goes, and you're not just saying that to be nice to me, right? And they say, no, we're not just saying that to be nice to me. He goes, level with me. How do you feel about the money? And client goes, it's a lot of money. Now, a lot of you will just jump right into justifying your price, but you don't have enough information yet, right? Which is why Don then said, can you tell me, can you say more about that? Right? It's a lot of money. Can you say more about that? They could say, well, I only had, budgeted 10,000 for a new heating and air conditioning system, and you're at 15. They could say, my neighbor got one for X down the road, right? And it's a different path to handle each one of those objections. But the first thing we've got to do is get the client to really come out and say it's the money, right? That's why Don said, hey, if it were free, would you do it now instead of waiting? So when they say yes, now we've got to do what we call bury the objection. Got it. So it's not so much that you wanted to put off the work, it's that you wanted to not have to pay for it right now. So will you definitely do it in the
Get them to
spring,
tell them use the money.
Right? Then you've got to get what? If they don't have the money, number one, by the way, when they tell you they don't have the money, guys, it's like somebody lifted a weight off their shoulders. They're going to feel a lot better. Plus, now they're sitting here going, well, you definitely can't sell me anything now, right? So the guard comes down. I just told you I don't have the money, right? But we're not done, right? So now what do we do, Don? I don't have the money. Oh, I feel better now. You can't close me.
Oh, well, when do you think you might have the money? Just take a guess. When do you think you'll have the money?
And they're going to go, I don't know.
Oh, just take a guess.
6 months.
Yeah, the attitude here is in your mind. To again sidebar here. In your mind, you're having the conversation that I'll make a note in my phone to call you back when you say you really want to have this work done. If you think that
That's
way,
what they're thinking.
the phrasing will come. That's what they're thinking. So if you think that way internally, you don't. These phrases don't come out pushy or intimidating. Oh, okay, no
Right.
problem. So when do you think you might have that much money? Just take a guess. Oh, so you do feel like you'll have it in 6 months? Okay, no problem. I'll just take care of it for you today, and you just pay us when you get the money. Initial here, and I'll get started. Totally different from uh, if you will present finance, and we hate that word, but if you will present payment plans, finance, as if you were in-housing it, right? You're not an owner. I get this. We're not in-housing it. Don't fall out of your chair. But if you will present your payment plans as if you were in-housing it, you're a one-man shop, you own the company, and you just tell you just tell everybody, look, I'll just take care of it for you today, and you just pay us when you get the money. What do you think most people are going to do? They're going to say, "You'll do that for me? Really?
Bro, when
You
I started
serious?"
using this, I'm telling you, I could not believe the increase in my closing ratio. It was over 20 percentage points instantly when I started using this.
If people feel like you're doing them a favor, they feel like they got to do you a favor, right? It's reciprocation. Oh man, you'll do that for me? What can I do for you? You know? And of course, you can walk through all that at at the point of yard signs or referrals or reviews or you name it. There's all sorts of things that you can get them to do as a reciprocation, and it really helps them feel good if you'll ask them to do those things too, because they feel like you're doing them a favor. But internally, just present payment plans as if you were the owner of the company and you were in-housing it. I'm going to take care of this for you today, and you just pay us when you get the money. Initial here, and I'll just get started for you. And then once they agree or they say, really, you'll do that for me now? Then you just go through the disclosures that you would normally do. Put the disclosures of all your green sky, finance, good leap after the people decide to buy. I often say this, you're not obligated to give all the finance disclosures to the people who do not apply for loans. You only have to give it to the people who apply. You do not have to give all those finance disclosures to everyone you pass in the world. It's just the people who want to take advantage of it. Let's wait till they say they want to utilize a deferred payment. They want you to just go ahead and do the work now, and then they'll just pay you when you get the money. They'll pay us when you get the money. Well, then we'll go through all that disclosure, and all that disclosure is usually built right in to the application process. So why give it, why give it too much excitement at the beginning until they decided? Don't go through all those details until they've decided that they get the work. Now, that's close to doing a features and benefits. The feature is I can do the work for you now, and the benefit is you can just pay us when you get the money. That's a whole, 6 months, 0% financing is really a feature. The benefit is we'll do the money now. We'll do the work now, and you can pay us when you get the money. So that's really a benefit. Change everything you're saying now from this feature to the benefit, and customers hear something totally different. It's really how the whole Breathe Easy product for indoor air quality kind of took off for all of us. Is stop talking about indoor air quality. That's a feature. The benefit is they're going to breathe easier. They're going to sleep better.
Right.
They're going to wake up with more energy. You don't have to build your bridge just because we called it Breathe Easy. You could name yours some other benefit, and people would love it. A lot of my competitors in Birmingham, because we train so many people and then guys start to leave and then people see your stuff. I was at a training session, or I was at a I don't know if it was a training session, but it was at a supply house where they were doing a get together and whatever. And one of our competitors had right across the back of their shirts, "Breathe easy." It was quite hilarious because we know where that came from, right, Gene? We really worked on it quite a bit to get it to be so much used as much of this. And now my competitors printing it right on the back of their shirt. It was quite hilarious. It was just
The
funny.
sincerest
My
form
other
of
techs were taking
flattery
pictures of
is
it and
imitation.
sending it to me on the ones.
Sorry, man,
Yeah,
we've
there was
got
a
a little bit of a
conversation that
delay
was
going
had
on.
about copywriting and oh yeah, sorry. The copywriting that Breathe Easy and that protecting it. And the thought was, look, everybody can use it. It's fine. It just legitimizes all the stuff that you do when everybody else starts copying you. It just legitimizes everything else that you do. So I was happy. I laughed when I saw it because I know where it started. I know how it got so popular, training so many people. But that's really, about 20 something minutes into here. What I really wanted to mention today is this month, I'd like to tell everybody it's time to get back to basics, right? It's train every day. It doesn't matter if that's 15 minutes or an hour. Do some training every day. If you're a manager and owner and you can bring in your service and your maintenance guys, do something every day. If you're not that and you're the technician, do 15 to 20 minutes to 30 minutes for yourself every day. We do that for a whole month, 20 straight days, 20 straight work days. And really, I want to say September and October. So we've got really left about 35 days. You can be at a whole nother level if you'll just spend 15 minutes a day on yourself. Now, I'd like to ask you to sometimes do a little bit more, but 15, 20, 30 minutes every day of training is how you get through this. Mike Chastain.
I agree with you, Mike Chastain. Auburn fans are a little delayed.
Well, it was a late.
That's awesome.
It was a late night game. I guess that's what it was. So, but that's really what we want to talk about on our Profit Coach Mastermind group, which meets on Wednesdays. It's business owners. It's strategies on what we should be teaching, and then our Lead Ninja group, which are service techs, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, is really the tactics. So one day we're really talking strategies of what we should be doing. Tuesdays and then on Tuesday, Thursday, we're talking tactics of how to do that.
Tactical.
Those are the classes that you're going to want to get in. You really want this information. You're really, really going to want to get this to your guys. And again, if it's just you and your company's not really into training, that doesn't mean you've got to hold your career back. You can do this training, get someone to lead you. That's why Lead Ninja is there, right? So
I would say
Gene,
50%
tell us a little bit
of the
about
people.
this upcoming big training event.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that you mentioned the mastermind. And just for any of the technicians that are out there that are wondering, about 50% of the people that are in that group are technicians who are paying for themselves to be in there. So if you want to be around like-minded individuals, you've heard iron sharpens iron, right? What does that mean? It means two sharp people come together, they become sharper, right? You've got a community there behind you to help push you. So if you want more information about the twice a week live trainings and all of the closing scripts and everything that's available for you, all you've got to do is put mastermind down in the comments. All right. I know we've lost down just a little bit. Hopefully you're still hearing me. So put mastermind in the comments. If you're an owner and you need some support as an owner for the next, 12 months or 12 days, I don't care what it is, type PCM down in the comments, PCM. And Don and I will put you in the owners group for free for 30 days. All right. No strings attached or anything like that. And the fastest way, if you guys listen, if you don't have time to mess around, if you're the type of person that likes to go fast instead of the type of person that likes to go slow, I like to go fast, in just about everything, right? I like fast cars and I like sales to come faster. I like growth to come faster. The fastest way to launch yourself is at one of the live events. So we've got an event coming up on the 25th through the 29th, and it is at the Grand Hala Mansion in Orlando. We might have some pictures of that coming up here in just a second, but it's a Wednesday to Sunday. All right. Wednesday's a travel day. Sunday's a travel day. So you get in late on Wednesday, 6 p.m. You check into the mansion. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we're going to be training. This is the back side of the house. And on the left-hand side there behind the palm tree is where most people end up hanging out. That and in the pool and the lazy river and hot tub and stuff. There's a spot inside of here as well if you guys want some massages or you want to bring in a masseuse. This is the grand foyer. We put 28 people in here every time we do this event, and you're actually going to stay at the mansion with us. So all of your food, your lodging, everything is actually included in the tickets. And we still have some of the base level tickets left, and I think we've got a couple of king suites still. This is the Star Wars bunks. I think we put 10 people in here. And
Right.
word is that every time we do this, Darth Vader shows up. But I'm not going to actually tell you exactly what that means yet. If you come out to the mansion, you'll understand exactly what I mean. And seats start at $64.99 for that particular event. Okay, so it's the 25th through the 29th. You fly into Orlando to MCO. That's the airport. So if you want information on that, go ahead and put mansion in the comments, and we'll shoot you over a link that'll give you all the information you want. And I think we're half full right now. So I think we've got a total of 14 or 15 people. So we've got like 13 spots left. All right. And guys, one of the greatest parts about staying at this place together is that, number one, when you send texts here, you're not having to worry about them going. See, Hollis can confirm it. Darth Vader actually did show up. One of the great things about sending your text here is you're not sending him into a city to a hotel where they kind of disperse afterwards. They're going to stay with us. We're going to take care of them. We're going to watch over them. Hopefully, my camera's still going because Don, you're glitchy as hell. But we're actually going to take care of them. We're going to watch over them. There's no reason for them to leave and go out and get in trouble. All right. At Lead Ninja, we believe in not just educating and helping people. We believe in protecting families. Right. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about right now. So there won't be anybody leaving and going to get in any trouble here. Okay. And this is not a Vegas style party, just so everybody knows. We're serious about business. And in the evenings, the masterminding that goes on there is just as awesome, if not more awesome, than the actual class. You'll make relationships that can last you a lifetime. Yeah. Don, you want to say anything else about it?
Yeah, after the training class where we get to sit around and get to know each other and role play the scripts and really take it to another level is the part that I love the most. That's the fun. That's what I did with my guys with the company is role play, practice the scripts. The class gives you a lot of the reasons and the hows, and then the sitting around and role playing them and just talking is how we get you to implement them. So I like to say the first 2 days are really the information and the training, and the last day is the implementation. And the implementation is what I love the most. We can give all of our information and throw it out there to all HVAC techs and owners throughout the country. It's only the implementation that makes a difference. It's what we do with the information that makes a difference. So the implementation is the fun part for me. And sometimes, I guys leave there with just incredible knowledge, and some guys are like, don't sit near Don. He won't just let you sit there and relax. He will make you role play and get this stuff down. But the guys who do go back and make a lot of money. And that's really the only reason you're coming to these classes is so that you go back and make a lot of money. So you take the time for yourself, train every day between now and then come to the class in October. You said it was this month, but I believe it's October 25th.
You're right.
29th. So I believe we've got about 6 weeks until the class. You can do quite a bit. Go ahead and get in the Lead Ninja. Tuesday, Thursday sessions. That's what I would start with if I could. If you could do it, that's where I would be, and then I would be at that mansion event. Take your life in a totally different direction, and it did mine. I really will say that what you pay for that is a lot of money to several. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for this knowledge over 3-4 years of all the classes I attended, but made factors of it, 10 times that, if not 30 times that in return. So it is magnificent in terms of what it does for your career, your income, and your family. Gene?
Don't be scared, guys. We don't bite. And there is nothing, I'm telling you, there's the amount of money we just talked about. There's nothing that you can buy for that amount of money that will impact your life and your career more. That I can promise you. And we just had some pretty cool testimonials come through. Hollis has been to several events. But guys, if you want any of that information, just let us know. Again, PCM for the owners group. Put that in the comments. If you're wanting to talk about the twice a week live training that we do, that's mastermind in the comments. If you want to talk about coming to the mansion, put mansion in the comments, and I'll shoot you over the page that explains everything and what's included. Okay. And by the way, just so you know, if I've got some bigger companies out there, some $5, $6, $7 million companies, Don also goes from city to city and does this in person for your people. And what that looks like is 4 half days. Okay. He comes in between 8 and 12 in the morning, pounds with them, right? And then sends them out into the field to go ahead and implement what he just taught them. The next morning, we go over successes, we go over failures, continue to teach. Again, they go out and use the information. So 4 to 5 days is typically how long he comes out. So if you guys want information on that, you can DM me directly and I can tell you what his schedule looks like and give you the costs for all that stuff too. So, but there's nothing like having Don or myself come in on site. It's just a different world, completely different world, different impact.
Yeah, and when you said you like to go fast, that's really what I would say is go fast. It's have you, have me, have us out to your shop. We can impact the whole service department in 1 week rather than you send one guy every 2 months and it take you 2 or 3 years to get through training everybody. So that's how you go fast. And that's a whole nother level. It's not for everyone. I get it. But for the select,
not everybody's going to be able to afford to do that.
Yeah. But for the people who can afford it, it's the fast way. And I absolutely love it. So I'm doing a Facebook Live every morning, 7 a.m. Central Time. I'm striving for 10 minutes, and it's just an idea of training for the day. Take it, put it with the rest of your, what you want to train on or what you need to talk to your technicians about and how to use Service Titan or how to fill out forms or whatever you have to talk about with them every day. Sell a service agreement or add a service agreement. That's important stuff that you have to remind. People will go and do what you remind them of every day. So
that's true.
I ran a meeting every day, even through COVID, every day with our company. It's just COVID made it go into the Zoom world, but it was 15 to 20 minutes every day. Usually Mondays it stretched a little bit longer to 30, 35 minutes, but 15, 20 minutes every day.
Little jittery there. We're cutting out a little bit, Don. I think it's probably time for us to wrap this up. I don't want to go too long today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the show. If you're watching this live, please put live down in the comments. If it was a replay, will you please put replay? Until next time, go out and slay those dragons. If you need any help, reach out to us. You can text me directly at 239-848-6533. Text me at 239-848-6533. And Don, you want to give them your number if they want to text you?
Yes, it's 205-612-5066. Again, it's 205-612-5066. Don Johnson. Just text me your information so I know who it's coming from. I don't always answer phone calls from unknown numbers. So just text me your information. I'll get you on the phone and we'll start conversations. If you need a little help, you can always get to either of us. But certainly I love having those conversations where I get to help somebody every day. Gene?
Thanks for the time, Don. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. Until next time, have a good night, guys. Love you all. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Gene.